or to Sora. And then they say, well, we'll see the waterfall for one day and the second day. But then I cannot see the waterfall for the third day again. Give me some other activity to do. So hence we need to figure out, for a tourist it's all about activity. So how can we keep the tourists busy for 5 days at least? And how can we make the 5 days active enough and interesting enough so that the tourists will stay? So we have a lot of things that are happening. My personal suggestion and the lowest hanging fruit and the most important thing to do right now is really to focus on this packaging. This is what I strongly feel. And I would like to suggest to the stakeholders, to our tour operators, to our officials, that while we look at trying to get more tourists, while we look at trying to create more infrastructure, while we look at trying to have more taxis and more rooms and more advertisement happening, I think it's important to realize that this 12 to 14 lakh tourists who we are getting out here, how do we ensure that this same number of 10, 12, 15 lakh tourists that are coming in, who may be spending say about 500 rupees per day per person, how can we make sure that they spend from 500 to another 1,000 rupees? And I think that is the most probably the easiest and the quickest way to really improve. So while we look at the long term and say 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, we have that target, which I'm sure we will achieve and we will move towards it. I think it's important to make these 10, 12, 14 lakh tourists, number one, satisfied and happy, and find ways in which we can make them spend a bit more, whether it's by one photograph we take and ensure that that photograph is then converted into a nice portrait and that is given to the tourists. A lot of places do that, but then our entrepreneurs need to be engaged to be able to do these kind of things. Whether it's the small ice cream that they may want to buy or some food they may want to buy. So making sure that the spending amount goes up, I think would be the most important way in which we can move forward. And I would urge the department and especially our director that if we can figure out even one additional activity in each of these critical circuits that we could introduce, engage these people, our entrepreneurs into that, talk to Prime. Prime is our entrepreneurship program that we have. Support them. I'm ready to help these entrepreneurs with my CM Elevate scheme and allow them to start those activities. I think that would be a great way to ensure that we're able to move forward immediately and take things. So as I said, yes, more roads are required. I don't disagree to that. But then you will also be happy to know that we have made 3 times more roads in the last 5 years than were made in the last 20 years. So that's the large number of roads we have made in the last 6 years. As I said, in the last 20 years, roads we made 3 times more roads just in the last 6 years. So roads are being made as we speak. Mobile towers, more than 2,000 mobile towers have been put up in different parts of the additional, I'm talking the last 2 to 3 years compared to what it was, 4, 5 years back. And still we require more. So these activities will continue. Are they enough? Absolutely not. We need to do more. We need to be maybe more specific. We need more details on the high tourist zone areas and develop those roads. And if there is any gap and shortcoming in very important connectivity roads, I'll be happy to ensure that we take it up. With this Maulinong area, which was mentioned by the Rangbashtong out there, I think it's critical. I would request a director to make sure that this is mentioned in the minutes, and I will ensure that PWD department takes it up. I will take personal interest in that. Like that, if there are any very important critical tourist destinations which require immediate connectivity, I will take it up myself personally, so you can give that list to us. Mobile towers also, if there are very, very critical